Well, folks. What a weekend. What a weekend. What a week. I mean, it's been an interesting one. It's been all week long. And let's see what we got here. It is 5:18 on Friday, December 12th. Let me do this. 5:18, Friday, December 12th, or actually 5:19 now. And we're home, and the week is over, and we got a lot done this week, and I'm very happy for that. We didn't have any disasters. We had the accident last Friday, and something else happened during this week. I'll tell you about it in a little bit. But what are we doing here? Well, I got to celebrate somehow, and alcohol is messing up my insides, you know? And this might mess up my insides too, but this is going to be pretty damn good. As you can see, it says, "You deserve a donut." Okay? Let me get my coffee here. So this is my good old 8 o'clock coffee at the K-Cup. And I got my creamer right here. And I went to this little shop down in Richmond, Virginia. The shop is on 301. It's an antique shop, and I don't have the address for you. But if you come off of 295 and you head north up 301, it's there's a school, and then 301 goes into 2. Well, right where it goes into 2, before you get there on the left-hand side, if you're heading north, there's an antique shop. It's in a little strip mall. But that is one of the nicest antique shops I've ever been in. I swear that place looks like a museum. All the stuff's for sale, but it all looks almost brand new. This is my tea making here. It almost looks brand new. I went in there and I bought, I guess I could show it to you. Let me go get it and I'll show it to you. I bought this T-Fall toaster in there for $20. $20, it works great. And when I got home, now what it did need to have done to it was I have an air compressor in my backyard, and I blew all the crumbs out the bottom of it. I opened it up and I blew it out, and there were chunks all back in the recesses of it, and I got that all out, and it's working great. It looks so much better than the two. I had a very old, the cheapest toaster Walmart sells, and I had another toaster which was pretty much a little bit cheaper, a little bit more expensive, but still cheap, sitting side by side. But they were my two soldiers, you know, for 20 years when I needed something like this. And this was $20. Just not looking at that counter looking like that was worth the $20. But this is working really good, you know, so I'm real happy with that. So I'm going to put this back here. I looked online and the toasters are running about $120 used. So I was like, oh, yeah, that's a pretty good deal. So, in that shop, in that same antique shop, they had this brand of honey right here. And I got this, and I also got peppermint. Peppermint honey and mint honey. And I'll show you this other honey. This is a honey I got at Giant. And I saw a report on YouTube that this right here where it says raw, unfiltered, you gotta be real careful. Because there are some brands that use that and they lie. But this is the best honey I've ever tasted. So I don't know whether it's got extra MSG in it, or if it's got crack cocaine in it, or, you know, it's got morphine in it, but it's really good. I don't get high off of it, but it's really good. But anyway, so this is pretty good, and this is pretty good. Are they good enough for the $10 it costs for each jar? I don't think so. But they were good. They were good. They tasted good. I used to get honey from a guy right when I was going up Charlestown. At the last store it's a gas station on the right-hand side. You come up a hill, it's on the right-hand side. Guy used to work in there. He was a beekeeper, and he had little jars of his own honey. Now those were like $9, let's just say $10. Man, that honey was woo. So what we're gonna do with this is, first off, I'm gonna put a little bit of creamer in this here coffee that I just made to 8 o'clock. I'm gonna put a little creamer in it. I'm gonna do a little bit of creamer. And take this, I'm going to put a dollop of this in here, which I don't really need, but I want it. I want it, okay? There you go. Spin it. I want it. The heck with it. So there we go. There we go. Do a little stirry. And that's pretty daggone good. It's okay. It's not extremely, that mint and the peppermint is not very strong. Now, I guess if I took it and like took a cracker and poured it on a cracker, I bet you'd taste awesome, you know. Let's get to this, because this is going to definitely be awesome. So what we got here, these came from a place called Freddie's Donuts in Fredericksburg, Virginia, right downtown. You got to go online to see where they're at. But they are not Dunkin' Donuts. And that's a good thing. These people love donuts. These people love making donuts. And they absolutely excel at making donuts. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this to the side. Let me get my cutting board out here. Where's my cutting board at? Here it is. Alright, so here's my cutting board. What do we got here? Well, first off, I'm just going to start with the most plain thing I got here. This is a maple donut. That's a maple donut, okay? See that? Just nice and creamy. These are extra sized donuts. See how big my hand is? See? They're extra sized donuts. Oh, I'm starting to saliva. Alright, so I got 2 of this particular type donut because this is the best donut I think they sell. These are salted caramel donuts. They look just like the maple donut, but they're caramel covered with salt on them. And if you know, you know. But caramel is made by almost burning sugar. But if you do it right and you don't burn it, you don't get that burnt note, it creates a sweetness that's unparalleled. And when you throw a little bit of quality salt on top of it, oh man, I'm salivating. Now this one right here is a caramel covered apple filled donut. Do you know how good that's going to be? Do you know how good that's going to be? I know how good it's going to be. And this is their version of a Boston cream donut. If you'll notice, the covering is a very dark chocolate, but it's filled. All of these donuts, this donut right here feels like it weighs a pound. And then, the most incredible thing of all, this is their apple fritter. This is their apple fritter. This is their apple fritter. Now, I will tell you that there's a lot of bread in this on the inside. But it's very good. I would say if you wanted to make this better, you cut it in half, warm it up, put butter on it, and then put some apple filling on it, and then put vanilla ice cream on top of it, and then eat it all together. That would be amazing. But I got to start with this right here. I got to start with this right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to eat this one. It'll stay up for display purposes. But I'm going to eat a little bit of each one of these. But there's going to be a lot left over for tomorrow. But I wanted to show you the selection that Freddie Donuts has. And to encourage you to go over there and give them a little bit of love. Now these donuts, all these donuts was $18. Unless you eat these, you won't understand why they cost $18. But if you eat them, you'll understand why they cost $18. So anyway, let me get a knife. I'll get a knife. Sacrilege! Cutting a donut with a knife. What's wrong with you? You're just jamming into it with your teeth. That was whatever's left of your teeth. So, and obviously, if I was a milk drinker, this would be great to have some milk. Now, these salted caramel donuts have been in a case probably 4 or 5 hours. So they're no longer hot. And what it'll do is this covering, when you bite into it, it's going to want to flake off. But you don't want to lose that coating. You don't want to lose it. You want to eat that. So here we go. Oh, man. It's buttery. It's sweet. It's delicious. It's got a little bit of salt to balance off the sweet. Oh my. That was a big piece too, damn it. Two-second rule. Oh my. Oh my. That is damn good. I told him when I left. I turned around to the girl when she was going back to tend to the case. I said, that donut right there, that salted caramel donut you got, it's the best donut in Fredericksburg. I love geese. Geese hits me right here. Geese tells me that God exists. Only God will put geese in the sky. Man would never put the effort into putting geese in the sky. We're too lazy. Why should I put a bird in the sky that goes this way and then goes that way 6 months later? Anyway. That is magnificent. I want to tell you, these two are the same. I'll have to get some butter for this because I actually want to cut this. I want to put some butter on it. And I might actually pour a little honey on it. But next we're going to go after is this. This is the maple donut. And the cover on this is equally as hard. As you can see. You can see how thick the coating is. It's a cake donut. It's a quality cake donut. Now, when I'm done with this video, I'm wrapping all of this individually in plastic because I want to freeze them about getting stale at the point where they're at right now. I'll probably eat them in the next 2 days. I'll eat all of them. All right. So let's try this. This is the maple donut. That is very good. One thing I would say about Dunkin' Donuts, their maple donut is pretty damn good all day long. This maple donut is like eating 2 of those at one time. You know? So this is not twice as good, but it's at least 40% better. Mm. Mm. So my boss helped me this week like 3 times. Went out in the truck. Went to a couple jobs. I got to this one job. And every day I'm working with him, I'm kind of in a hurry because I need to get him back to the warehouse because he's got a whole lot more work he does besides all the stuff he does so I can do my job. Well, we pulled up to this job in this parking lot. And the parking lot was at a hill like this. And I'm driving this big box truck, the same one I got hit in on Friday. I pulled up, I stopped, and I don't know why I didn't do it, but I left it in drive and turned the engine off. And the truck didn't move. I think that the two front tires was in the rain gutter at the end of the, where, you know, there's a piece of concrete there. And then, but anyway, so I open the door and I get out and the damn truck starts rolling back. I'm like going, what the blank? My boss is sitting in his passenger seat, man. And I'm like going, holy shit! And I'm watching this thing go, and this truck weighs like 10,000 pounds. There's no way I'm stopping it, right? And I reached down, and thank God Ford put a foot brake, a foot emergency brake in. I took my hand, I pushed it, foot brake down. It didn't stop, and I jammed it right to the floor. When I jammed it to the floor, she stopped. And my boss died laughing all damn day. Every day, all day, when he thought of the look on my face, he said to me, he said, you know, you are entertaining. I would tell you, son of a bitch. Well, we can laugh about it because nothing happened. But I was like going, oh my God, dude. Because every time, it's only happened like twice before, maybe once before, that I turn the engine off with the thing and drive. And it goes back immediately, you know? And you hit your brakes, and then you, oh shit, and you do that, right? But I could not believe it. I was thinking, oh my God, I just got this truck damaged, and now I'm going to smash into it. Would have he said, well, it's okay. There was a tree right behind you in the parking lot. That'll stop the tree. But then he said, no, in your luck, you'd have hit the tree, knocked the tree over, and wrecked 5 cars. I said, yeah, that's about right. So I was ready for this. This was happening like on Wednesday. And I was ready for, right then I was ready, like, okay, I'm done. I'm toast. I'm toast. I'm ready. I'm ready for this week to be over, you know? But good Lord brought us through it, and everything worked out okay. But when I get out of the truck, I have to actually climb up into the truck. It's a Ford, like F-350, but it's a little bit high off the ground. So this thing is, and I'm on a hill, so this thing is like, the door is like pushing me back as it's going by. I'm like going, oh fuck, I'm about to get run over here, you know? Because I didn't want to put my foot under the wheel, because you can't do that, because it'll draw you under the truck and kill you, you know? And so I just reached in there and I pushed down on the brake, and it didn't stop, and then I jammed that fucker to the floor. When I jammed it to the floor, she yanked up and stopped. You know, I was thinking to myself, I said, thank you, God. Thank you, God. But, whew, what a trip. All right, back to the donuts. Let's do this Boston cream first. We're going to do this Boston cream, so you can see how thick this is. I mean, this is like a heavy-duty donut. This is not no donut for weaklings, okay?
So we're going to cut this in half and let you see what this looks like.
Look how beautiful this donut is. Now it's almost a bitter dark chocolate, but the filling is sweet. So the mix of flavors really comes together. It's a different kind of Boston cream donut.
It's their take on a Boston cream donut with a dark chocolate cover and a creamy filling. Just really delicious filling. Woo! Oh man, that is good. And these donuts are fresh. Even though they've been in the case for 3-4 hours, they're still fresh. Which made me so angry about Dunkin' Donuts. Because I get there in the morning, and these donuts are still fresher than Dunkin' Donuts as soon as I get there. How is that possible? So, that is a work of art right there. Okay? It's a work of art. And this thing right here, I really do want to put some butter on it. Because I know it's not going to be... I had these before, and I don't really want to cut this in half. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in a quarter, like this. I'm going to let you see what it's made like. It's like a great big apple fritter biscuit cake.
Now this is what it looks like on the inside. There's pieces of apple in there. You can see the crust on the outside, okay? This is enough for I would say this is enough for 4 people if you played this right. But I would actually recommend using this as a base and then putting more apple filling on it. Putting some butter on it, which I got some butter right back here. I got some butter right here. I'm going to put just a little bit of butter on it. Just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit of butter. Just a little bit. Just a very small amount, okay? I'm going to put a little bit of butter on it. Just a small amount, okay? Daggone it. Get back in the plate. The plate, boss, the plate. Yes, I'm getting a little bit of sugar rush going on. All right. Now, what we gonna do? Here. Put this in this here microwave for 30 seconds. Put this in here microwave for 30 seconds. There you go. Oh, Lordy. Came home and got all my dishes caught up, which is awesome. Fed my little knucklehead like 3 times. All right. So this is what we got. We got butter on that. Okay. I'm gonna throw a little bit more of this. Yeah, on here. A little bit of this. Yeah, on this. There we go. There's that. You know what? You know what? What? Let me show you what. I'm going to show you the world's oldest cinnamon. Here's the world's oldest cinnamon. Okay? I should throw this away. That's from Food Line from about 10 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. It's aged cinnamon. It's the best. It's aged cinnamon. Wah, wah, wah. All right, there we go. That's all I want. All right, here we go. Soft. Butter. That'll work. Taste the apple in it. That is really delicious. That butter adds a flavor. Now this has butter flavor in it already, but this just kicks it up another notch. Now last on our hit parade, before I finish it, look at this. Caramel covered, apple filled donut. Sort of like a cinnamon bun on crack. Here's the other side of it. So what we're going to do here, look at that big old piece of caramel just fell off. I'm going to put this right here. Right here. Oh! Oh! Yes, I'm having a sugar rush. Yes. Oh. Woo! It was like I said when I was on my fast, you cannot do this after a fast. You do not ever eat this after a fast. You can do it a week later. You can't do it right after a fast. Because if you do, you will be so damn sick you won't be able to see straight. It could put you in the hospital. But it's after the fast. Now here's some good old green tea, black tea blend, which I got some right here. Let me make that real quick. I'm gonna make this real quick. So this is one of these. I call it a moon spoon. See that moon spoon? That's a soup spoon, but I call it a moon spoon for some reason because I'm simple in the head. It's a moon spoon because it's shaped like the moon. See? I use one of them. I put one of this black tea, this Vitel black tea. Okay. And I use 2 of this Nazo green tea. And I put them in my Mr. Coffee, and I put a whole 12 cups of water in it. This is what it looks like after it cooks. Almost looks like a bunch of pot in there, you know. I often wonder, if a cop pulls me over, oh, what do you got in there? It's just green tea, officer. Oh, yeah, sure it is.
Get out of the car.
Oh, yeah, here we go. That's what that looks like after it comes out. That's the base. I had like about that much water in this. But I make this 100% of the time I have this in the house. If it runs out, I make it. I don't let it run out. Because I believe in the green tea, the mystique of green tea, the health of green tea, but I also believe in black tea also, that it helps. And it damn sure is better than drinking any sodas. God darn sodas, man. Sodas have killed a lot of people. And it's really a shame. So right now, this is a hot tea. So let's pour a little bit of hot tea out. Sorry I can't pour it in front of you because I'm going to pour it all over the damn counter. So I'm going to pour it in the sink here. Yep, that's sure shit. So this is what the hot tea looks like. It's such a wonderful color and hue to it, you know. See how it's almost translucent? It says, drink me. So we got that, we got our coffee, we got our water, we got our old tea. That tea's been, if you know anything about tea, you know that tea that sits for like 2 days, it starts stewing. The bacteria in the air starts growing in it. After about 4 days, you want to pour it out. After 6 days, I won't talk about it. Anyway, so here we go. We got our delicious little, got our apple frittata. I might need some more butter is what I might need. But, alright, I'm going to cut this, run it through the butter. I just called to say I love you. Oh, I miss you, I love you, whatever it is. Woo! Man, this hits the spot, bro. And ladies, woo! See the apple sticking out? Uh-oh! Oh my God, go away. I'll be over in a minute. So my mortgage company wants me to refinance my house because they get a couple $1,000s. I get a couple $1,000s back, but I'm not in the mood of refinancing anything. I want to pay this shit off. I can't do that going to Charlestown. I gotta do that. I just did that today. I'm trying to trim back on my use of credit cards because using a credit card is making yourself a slave. And I've been good at it. I've been real good at making myself a slave. I've got about $35,000 I gotta pay back. That's before I finish paying off my house. Oh my God. Shut up, phone. Alright, so anyway. This is very delicious. I'm forgetting about all that shit. I'm thinking about this moment right now, how delicious this donut is. How wonderful the people at Freddie's Donuts are to have that little place, and I can go there and buy these donuts. I was saying, I went into Fredericksburg because my bank is in Fredericksburg, but that branch of Fredericksburg is not open on Saturday. So I went in there and I checked what my balance was, and thank the good Lord in heaven that my check has gone in there, so I had a little bit of money. But I pulled some cash out.
so I don't touch these credit cards because I got to stop, added balance, and then pay off the balance. So we're going to get there. It's just a matter of being dedicated to it. So all this was bought. I almost used my card. And I said, she said 1801. I said, you know what? You got change for a 20? So I gave her the change for a 20. And she gave me back two $1 bills. She says, I think I got a penny here. And there was a penny, give a penny, take a penny. And she took the penny out of the little jar, little dish on the counter. I'll go back in there and I'll throw like 10 pennies in there sometime. But we're trying to get back on the snippy snip of... the thing about when you buy something cash, you only pay for it once. And you buy it, and it's yours. But if you buy something using a card, you buy it, it's not yours. It's actually the credit card company's until you pay it off. And that kind of pisses me off, But that's not the credit card company's fault, that's my fault. So, anyway, let's get back on to this. This is a whole bunch of apple goodness right here. You know what? I'm going to take that, put that right over there. See that? That's why I opened this up, because I wanted to get a little bit of that filling on this fritter. All right. I do love butter. And I tried to buy the gourmet butters, but I just don't think I'm a gourmet butter guy. I don't know. All right, so here's this apple fritter soaked with butter. Got apple filling on the top of it. And it's warm. That's a hell of a fine idea. Putting butter on that? Oh my God, that's a great idea. And I don't know if you can get like a little jar of apple preserves, with actual apple chunks in it. But if you cover that up and get you some fresh cinnamon, because this cinnamon I got here, I'm telling you, my wife bought that at least 15, 20 years ago. I miss you, honey. I was out by her mama and daddy and her brother's grave today. My job was right out by where they're buried at. And one day, pretty soon, I'm going to buy her and me a plot out there and get her in a grave. I have a spot next to her. So in 60 years, when I leave this plane, I'll have a place to go, for my body to go. But I don't want to put her in a cremation. They make these little things that it's like it's a box. It's just a marble box, and you know what it is. It's just cremated remains in a marble box. It's just standing up in the middle of the damn thing. I don't want that. I want her in a grave, and I don't know what's going to happen with that. I don't know if they'll let us do that, but we'll see. But this is delicious. Sorry for the dark turn. God darn it. It's supposed to be light and bright and happy. I'm pretty happy, I got to tell you. I'm happy this week's over with. I'm happy I'm not sitting here in front of you with a bunch of alcohol. Who knows? Maybe my next mukbang will be pizza and beer. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But right now, this is hitting the damn spot. And I know tomorrow I might be a little bit hungover from the sugar, but I won't be sick. My stomach won't be sick. That right there, hot with butter on it. Chef's kiss, man. A little bit of, I guess, maybe apple butter would, but Apple butter ain't got no chips, chunks in it, you know? But this is hitting the damn spot. Let me tell you. Woo! Woo! Yeah, baby. Look at all that goodness. Oh, that's so much goodness. Oh. All right. Well, as I said before, I was not going to eat all these. These will last me another 2 or 3 days if I wrap them in plastic, which I'm going to. I'll wrap them in plastic, put them there. I don't think I'm going to put them in the refrigerator. Because there's something about when the bread gets cold to be a problem. Now, I might put them in my front room. My front room's not heated, which is at about 50 degrees right now. So that would be good enough for this. But I'm going to wrap each one of these in plastic. One of the things I had to do at work this weekend, I'll tell you in a minute, coffee. Pretty damn good. The 8 o'clock is pretty good coffee. This is the new tea. Oh man, that washes down that donut so good. That really does. Anyway, one of the things I had to do twice this week was someone at our job was buying 2 commercial refrigerators and a commercial freezer for an offshore wind station for a very famous energy company. And it turns out that it was not exactly what they wanted, so they had to get rid of these. Absolutely beautiful. They're from a company called True, True, and they're commercial refrigerators, 2 of them. They're 7 foot tall. They're like 40, I think they're like 40 inches wide by 40 inches deep, made of stainless. But they told me, they said, you have to unbox them. You have to take pictures of the front right side. And he said the back right side. I said, well, that's not going to work. You got to take it from the front right side and the back right side so you can get all 4 sides, right? And then you got to take a picture of the top because you can't get the top because it's 7 foot tall, right? So I took those pictures of all 3 of them units. I got it all wrapped back up real pretty. It took me an hour a unit to unwrap this stuff because you can't just tear the shit to pieces. You got to put the packaging back on it. And they've got tags that are very important in the shipment process. So they've got to go exactly where they were before. It's almost like you're trying to unwrap something and rewrap it like it was never unwrapped, you know? But I got this shit done. I got all 3 of them done. So the next day my boss comes to me and says, Phil, remember them 3 refrigerators? We thought there were 3 refrigerators. Turns out there are 2 refrigerators and a freezer. He says, you remember those 3 refrigerators you unwrapped and rewrapped? So nice? I said, yeah. He said, well, now they want you to unwrap them, open the door, and take a picture of the serial number inside the unit. And my brain, the guy, and I can always tell you, I got a conference table full of people in my head, right? Like there's like 12 people, and there's one crazy fucker in a cage at the end. He never gets to come out, but he's always screaming. And man, half the people at the table, there was 4-letter words going all over the place. I could not believe it. I said, you have got to be kidding me, dude. Do you know how much work that was? The good thing about my boss is he never lets shit go. For his department, he always gets a purchase order for the labor. No matter what it is, if it's just me putting one keyboard tray on, he demands that the salespeople give him a purchase order. Now, our department doesn't get paid for it, but what it shows is the cost of my labor, his employees' labor, to do what these salespeople asked to do. So he got another purchase order for 4 hours for me to unwrap these things again. And I got them unwrapped, I got the pictures taken, I got them rewrapped again, and they are just, I work food service pretty much my first 10 years of working. I worked for a pizza place that had great big walk-in freezers. Then I worked for Marriott for 5 years. I actually did their receiving, did their rotating their food, their chicken, their produce, and all that. And then I went into food service. I did food prep, and then I cooked on the line. So I know food service, and these are absolutely beautiful units. But the thing is, they're stainless steel and they're fragile. They're meant to be slid into a slot, leveled up, and left alone. Okay? They're not meant to be handled. And you certainly can't leave them out where anyone can run their hand across it. Because what they'll do is they'll put a scratch in the finish. These were flawless cabinets. Each one of these cabinets had to cost, I said $10,000. I think they were probably more like $15,000 each. I mean, these things were 7 foot tall, by 40 inches wide, by 40 inches deep, but they were gorgeous. So anyway, we got them all done, got them all wrapped up. I got the last one done this morning. Got it wrapped up, and it sort of cascaded through the day. My next job, I got there early. I got that one cabinet done. My next job was going into a customer, and they had an install crew come in and put these massive, beautiful offices in for their executives. Except they did not provide a plug to power the light that was in the overhead. It was gone. And I was down there 4 months ago telling them, well, 3 months ago, when I went in and checked, I said, oh my God, here's the transformer. It just doesn't got a plug, a power plug in it, right? That was my next job. I plugged it in. I was praying to God. I said, God, please let this work, because this wall unit they have in this room is from corner to corner. And it's a massively beautiful wall unit. But to get to that light, you have to take the entire desk to pieces, because the cord is run behind the unit. And you can't get behind the unit because there's only that much room to the wall. So, plugged it in and that light came on. And I went, thank you, God, I appreciate that. I had to adjust the overhead doors in there. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Let me tell you something right now. If anybody ever tells you you should get soft closer doors in your cabinets, you should tell them, no, I don't want them. If they tell you should get soft closer doors on your drawers, you should say, no, I don't want them. Get the drawer slides that slide all the way closed. That you can slide them all the way closed. Because those soft closer doors, eventually they will fail. And nobody in a business environment should ever have soft closer anything. Because it's a pressure environment, and in my customer, I know what happened was they were closing these soft closer doors, and what they do is they'll get about that far to closing, and then they stop. They resist. But if you leave them alone, they'll go, they'll take about 10 seconds, but they go clunk. Well, people ain't got 10 seconds who are busy. If they want to close that door to lock it, they're going to force it closed. And when they do that, it messes up the hinges and everything. And that's what happened in this office. But I got it looking okay. And that was done. And then the next job was delivering 24 chairs, and then 24, they're called nesting chairs. The seat folds up like this, and they go one inside the other. It's really cool. It's a nice technology for a conference room where you're trying to save space. 24 of those. My boss built every one of those chairs. They all came in broke down. We call it KD. He unboxed all of them. He built them all. He said it was a son of a bitch to build them. I believe him 100%. Because what happens with these manufacturers sometimes is the holes don't line up, or they don't thread the holes right, or the worst thing of all is when they thread the holes before they spray the frames. If they do that, they spray paint in the threads, it becomes a test to see how much patience you have to not strip the screw in there. So anyway, he got those done, 24 chairs and 1 desk chair. But my customer was amazing. I got there, I went in the front desk, and the lady was, man, she knew it was coming. She said, your contact's going to be this person, and I'm going to let the door open. You're going to go around there, because that'll be closer to where the chairs go. I said, cool, man. So I hopped in the truck, got around where they said, I backed it up, and the lady was right there waiting. She says, yeah, you're going to ask her, can I see where the chairs are going? And she said, she walked me in. It was straight down the hallway, directly into the room. It was literally maybe a 50-foot hallway, and bang, there was the room. She says, I'm going to take these chairs out of here. I said, do you want me to help you? She says, and she looked around the corner, she says, I'm going to get these guys to help me. I knew exactly what that meant, you know? And I said, okay, and I smiled. I went back to the truck, and I started rolling the chairs off 4 at a time, because they fit one in each other. Rolling them off 4 at a time, and I took them to her. First thing I took her was the 1 desk chair. She says, yeah, I know. Thank you. I'm going to bring that inside. And one of her guys grabbed that. They took it halfway across the compound. And then I started rolling 4 chairs in at a time. She said, look, why don't you just get them inside the door, and then I'll take them where they need to go. I said, okay, cool. So 6 trips, 24 chairs total, and that's in there. And she signed for it. And I got the truck all cleaned up, and we got that done. And I was real happy. And that's exactly how my boss envisioned that delivery to go. That's why he started everything that's why he scheduled everything in the way he scheduled it. So I'm very happy with that. I'm also very happy that we had a very happy customer. We had a very happy experience with the customer. They got their chairs. She was very happy to have those chairs. And I got in and out quick, because that's our benchmark. They don't want you there, okay? It's not because they don't like you. It's because they got other shit to do. It's not time to pal around and be good buddies. It's time to get in there, give them their stuff, and get out of their way, because they got stuff to do. And she was busy. But she was very gracious and nice to me, and I appreciate that, you know? So this is the kind of people I do work for pretty much all the time. And if I have a bad interaction with a customer, it's probably because the guy before me was an asshole. And he's thinking, or she's thinking, I'm going to be an asshole, which I'm going to try to not be. Because our entire business is based around making people's workday easier to get through. So it was a good week. I mentioned that brake situation with that truck several times, and my boss busted out laughing. I wasn't going to say that, but it was pretty funny. I said, yeah, it's funny, because I got the damn thing stopped, and he said it like 3 times. He said it all week. He said, yeah, well, just don't wreck the truck. Just don't. And then today he goes, yeah, I said, I wish you'd stop saying that, because you're going to put mojo on me. He says, yeah, it's going to wind up be me who wrecks my van, because he drives a work van to our long-term storage. I said, yeah, and then it'll be a girl gets out the van, girl cuts in front of you. She gets out of the van with her phone in her hand and goes, I am so sorry. I am so sorry I cut you off. Like the lady did to me about 15 years ago when she slammed in the back of my wife's Honda. I am so sorry. I looked at her, I was like, oh my God. Car had never been hit in 14 years. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So it's actually, 14 years? 7 years ago, I guess. But anyway. This was pretty damn good. I gotta say, this really hit the spot. I am going to wrap this up. And drink this up here. I've had enough sugar for 6 lifetimes, but this is really high quality donut product. If you Freddie's Donuts is excellent, don't get me wrong. But if you want a ultra premier bakery experience, you can also go to Paul's Bakery. And they're open from like 6, I think, in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. But those two institutions, Freddie's Donuts, which is open until 7 o'clock, supposedly, I think when they run out of donuts, they close. So you want to get in there before, say, 5 o'clock. You'll still have a selection. But Freddie's Donuts is excellent. Paul's Bakery is excellent. Fredericksburg institutions. So, folks, you know God's with you, and He wants to help you. You just have to ask, because He has to let you live your life, make your mistakes, so you learn from them. But if you ask God for help, He'll help you. It might not come in the way you think, but He will help you. He helped me all week. Thank you, Lord. I appreciate it, sir. There were some times this week when I was facing things, and I was like going, man, this is just crazy. And it all worked out. So, you folks have a wonderful weekend. God bless you. Sometime in the near future, I better start doing that exercise program or I'm going to rip my guts out. We can't have that. But anyway, you folks have a wonderful weekend. God bless you, and we will see you on the next video. Man, this was really good. This was really good. That with butter. Woo! Woo! Heat it up in the microwave. Woo! Y'all have a good one. Peace.